History for Foos. What's up, everybody? Butch Escobar right here. Felipe Esparza right here. DJ Unknown right there in the mix. Chilling. History for Fools, man. Speaking of history, I just got back from Canada. Butch was history. They didn't make it because of past history. Because of hidden history, he didn't acknowledge the Canadian authorities. Man, it was first of all, thank you everybody who actually listened to the History for Fools and the What's Up Food podcast, who we met out there in Canada. What's up? Oh, man. Shout out to where I was. I was in Vancouver. And, man, let me tell you something, man. On my way to my show, I was playing hopscotch, because there was a lot of homeless people,
Oh, wow. Really?
I was playing hopscotch. Like, they were all, like, laying down on the floor.
Was it like Portland?
Worst.
No way. Portland's the worst I've seen so far.
Now, these people were actually smoking something in full public.
No way.
They were smoking something out of a tube, like a suction.
Crack probably or something.
It was like a long plastic tube. It was long, bro.
Whoa.
It was really
Let me
long.
ask you something. You went to Montreal. It was clean, right?
Yeah.
And was there as many homeless people there?
Man, I saw them. Yeah, there was a lot. Where I went to go do laundry in Montreal. Because I went to Montreal from another gig to Montreal.
Right.
So I had to I did laundry in Montreal, Lisa and I, and we went to this place, and there was like, I would say a good 12 people drinking in public.
Okay.
And bothering people for change.
Okay.
And they would take turns going in the street to ask people who are waiting for the red light for money.
Okay.
And then weird people showing up, man. When I see somebody when I see a dirty ass person with a leather jacket, I know it's bad news.
Right.
Like, if it ain't the Dice Man, we're in trouble.
Yeah, totally. When I was in Montreal, it seemed really clean. Even the homeless people, you did see homeless people, but they weren't laying in the street. There wasn't tents. It seemed really, really like cleaned up. Like we went through the hood. Hood didn't even look like the hood. Was it like that when you went? Because I went like 20 years ago, so it was a long time ago.
Well, I never been to Vancouver. My first time. Montreal, man. Montreal was the same when I went there in 2005.
Okay.
So, see, in 2005, I was heavy into like extracurricular, recreational activities. So I had to go where the recreational activities were. And let me tell you, bro.
The substances.
There was there was one sneaker.
Yeah. I mean, you can definitely tell that they were like homeless, but it wasn't like tent cities and shit.
No. There's no tent city even in Vancouver.
Okay.
These people probably just lay on that ground all day.
Right.
And then they go somewhere else.
And then they pack it in.
But that day, there were a lot, and there was people, they were smoking meth out of that tube, or fentanyl, whatever they were. But I think it was meth.
I wonder what the fuck that is.
It was meth.
That's
crazy. Like a long, it was a long tube, bro. Like
glass tube.
It'll be connected to one of those sprays for your tires.
Yeah.
You know that you know that tube for the air for your tires.
Right.
It was that type of tube.
Yeah.
Plastic.
It was plastic.
There's a long tubular thing.
I wonder if they were sucking chemicals or paint or something.
Oh, they were using that, like, you know, it was a tube for the vaporizer. You know, when you have the little marijuana.
I see what you're saying. So were they cooking with glass at the tip?
You know that what are the smoking device for marijuana, and you put the long tube and you suck it.
I know what like a chillum.
No, bro.
Or a straight pipe.
Steve Dano had one. You plug it in. And then you heat it up.
Oh, like a vaporizer.
Vaporizer.
Like a volcano.
Yeah, no, a vaporizer tube.
Okay.
You know the vaporizer tube?
No, I never seen of the vaporizer.
You ever smoked out of a vape?
I've smoked out of a bag. Like you put it to the volcano, and then you hit the bag and you push the bag in. I've done that.
But you never had like the actually vape?
No.
It's a little box.
No shit.
You never heard of that?
And
you're from Berkeley? You liar. It's you show it up there if you can. It's a little box, and then you plug it in, and then you crunch up your weed and you put it in top, and then you put it inside, and it heats it up, and you.
Oh yeah. Okay, it's like the vape pens we have now,
It's huge.
but it's huge. Okay, yeah, I've seen those. I know what you're talking about.
But you know that tube.
Yeah,
Well,
totally.
I know these fools are not smoking weed out of that.
Fuck no, bro.
So they probably that tube.
Yeah.
Hey, look for I don't know what that tube is.
Bro, that's from the 70s though.
But that's what when I had it, I thought they were brand new.
Right, yeah. No, because the volcanoes, throw up the volcanoes real quick if you can.
How old is that thing then?
That thing's like fucking from the 70s, bro.
So,
This is what I'm used to. It's called the volcano vaporizer.
yeah, I know those are tight.
Yeah, bro.
I never had one.
Dude, we used to have those, and you'd fill up these huge bags, and you'd try to get it like that, the guy in the middle right there. You try to get it nice and milky, and then you fucking hit that, and you push the bag, and it's like transferring
THC
to your lungs, bro. It was those are hella good. Those other ones are just as good, but these ones, man.
I did
But yeah, I don't think anybody's smoking weed and laying on the street. Smoking weed is definitely a lazy man sport, and I would say can lead to homelessness, which I've not known it to do. But I definitely don't think you're smoking weed and crashing out on the street.
I did a show with Doug Benson and Esther Koo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and two other people. I'm sorry, I forgot who you were. But you were not striking enough, I guess. But you were obviously you were funny if you were booked on the show.
Sure, great.
But Doug Benson had a show in San Juan Capistrano.
Okay.
It was Getting Doug with High or Doug Movies. No, Getting Doug with High. So Esther Koo, myself, and two other comedians. He sent an Uber to pick me up. To pick me up in LA.
No way.
And he sent an Uber to send me back. So when we get there, man, I get there, it's like 2-hour drive. So like I'm already like chilling and ready to edible.
That's a 2-hour Uber actually is fun for me.
And I think it was a 4:20 show.
Dope.
But it was an 8:00 show. So we get there and there's like a package, for everybody, of course.
Right.
And I was like, how are they going to get away with it? Because normally everybody smokes during his show. Dude, they had these 5-foot bags of vape, bro. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like the volcano.
Yeah.
They were the size of Steve. They were taller than Steve Danner.
Fuck no, that's huge.
It was huge, bro.
Huge.
It was like you could if I would have got 5 of those bags together because we all had one.
Right.
I could have made a regular sized dinosaur, bro.
Bro, dude, those things hit so much better than anything I've ever hit too.
I was hungry afterwards.
Yeah.
So the crowd was just tripping out, like, they wanted whatever, right? They wanted to participate. I threw mine in there, bro.
You just gave them a bag.
I just threw the bag in the audience. And they were passing it around, bro.
Yeah.
There was dudes hitting it right there, going, and there was like a fool like 4 feet away pumping it, bro. Going, bah, bah. So it was a team effort, Imagine, dog.
Oh, bro, that's hilarious.
You're hitting it by yourself.
Right.
But now you threw that big old 5-foot bag in a crowd of 350 people.
Yeah.
So the first person holding it, you got pressure, bro.
Yeah, totally.
So you got woo.
But after a while, you got to have someone help you push it in. Because with the little bags, they go to about here.
Yeah.
And you're going to hit it like that, and then you push it in.
Those guys are pushing it in, bro. You got like at least 4 people pushing it in.
Right.
And then I threw another one in there, and everybody was happy.
Fuck
bro.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, they remembered me.
That's fucking, dude. We had a show that Lydia Popovich ran in San Francisco called Highbrow. And it was in the basement of a video store. And you would lock yourself in at night. It would lock us in at night. And she would fill up volcano bags. Huge volcano bags. And everybody that did the show had to do 1 volcano bag to the head. And then you didn't know when you were going to go up. You didn't know how much time you were given. And then you had to answer a bunch of questions after you did your set. And she was like, look, Butch, people fucking sometimes break down crying because I've never been so high. And she's also, don't tell me that you can handle it. Just come out and do the thing. I think I asked for 2 more bags, and then she didn't ask me to come back.
Damn.
I puff.
History for Fools. Thank you, everybody who has watched or shared that clip on my reels about the Menendez brothers, the one we shared this week. It's up to like 84,000 views.
Yeah, dude.
Which is our biggest one ever. Shout out to the homie right here,
Hell yeah,
Ray.
brother. Thank you, man.
Yes, man. That's probably our biggest. More for History for Fools.
Yeah, definitely. I knew that was gonna be a hitter, man.
3 comments, but they probably just watched it and moving on.
So there's that was it. That was the
They're
one
probably
shot.
bringing out their big boob swipe.
Right.
Have you seen that lady?
Uh-uh.
There's a lady, I don't know if you can find her. She's on Instagram. She has like long boobs, bro.
Right.
And she goes, sometimes, man, I get home and then there's like stuff around that shouldn't be there. That shouldn't be there. Smack, and she threw their boob.
Oh yeah, I've seen
Then
that
another
lady.
one, smack, smack, smack.
Yeah, I've seen that lady.
Anyways, bro, she will hit a dog con,
Yeah.
and she was charging money to smash fools.
She would make so much money.
Yeah, she
bro.
did. And she's not she's not even an adult film star.
Dude, I love.
She just I like when people just make money of something, like, you know, they people say, oh babe, you have long boobs.
Right.
Smack, now she's making money.
I don't get the hate when someone's making easy money on the internet. To me, it's like that's the idea. When dudes are like, I wish I was a girl so I could do OnlyFans. Yeah, I do too. Good for them. Like, I don't have a problem with it. Like, I don't have a problem with anybody making easy money on the internet. It's the best fucking thing you could do. If you can smack things with your boobs, go for it.
Who are these people? I see that a lot, like, oh, I wish I was this. I wish I was that. I wish I was that. You know what, bro?
Yeah.
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was taller.
I wish I had a girl who was good. I would call her. I hope we don't get DMCA'd for that. Yeah, dude. Like, so the Menendez thing. There are 2 episodes that stand out in my mind when we've done all these shows, and I've had so much fun doing all the research and everything. But there's 2 episodes to me that stand out to me the most interesting and most compelling that I've done the research in, and that was the serial murderers. This makes sense in my mind. Maybe I have the brain of a elderly white woman, but the serial murders, history of serial murders, and the Menendez brothers was so fucking. I've never been so fascinated with something. Like, I drove out to the house to look at it. I've never done fucking like fanboy behavior type shit. You know, like, and I'm excited for the movie to come out, obviously. But yeah, it was a really, really good story.
That movie could come out on Netflix, right?
Yes.
Okay, man. First of all, man, Netflix is showing the promo for the movie. It's already bad.
Oh, really? I haven't seen the promo yet.
It's Lyle and Eric with no T-shirts and right behind each other. They never were like that.
No, yeah.
I don't. You know, even if they have relation with something happened between them and the dad, they would never. There's no picture of them ever with no T-shirts off, right behind each other.
So this is trying to make it salacious.
And it makes it look like it's a non-binary movie.
Oh no!
Well, if you look at the Netflix, if you can find the Netflix cover for the Menendez brothers movie,
It looks so good.
it's
though.
it's 2 guys, and it's in blue, and they're both naked, and they're next to each other, like.
My girl did.
And like it was
like they were fucking each
yeah,
other.
it was like they made it look like
It looked so good, bro. Like, the movie looked good, but my girl did say it's the same person who makes American Horror Story, and so that it was going to be probably
but you know what, that guy's whack, bro.
a little more salacious. I've never seen American Horror Story.
I saw all the American stories, but when it got to the part about actual serial killers, not shit that he made up,
Right.
he didn't do a good job, bro.
Really?
Yeah, bro. There was one place. It was called Murder Hotel. It was based on actually a hotel where a guy had a hotel, and he would actually monsters.
Oh, so it's like this is very. I'm not again.
Look. But
Yeah, no.
there's a bigger photo of them where they're showing their whole
Right,
chest
yeah,
and
yeah.
they're both naked.
Okay, first
Talk
of all,
to me, bro. What's your opinion on that?
I'm cool with gay people. Before I
No,
say
but-
anything, I'm
Yeah,
cool.
but they were not gay.
They're not gay.
No, but-
this is trying to appeal to gay people.
What's wrong
bro.
with the sweaters?
Or this is trying to make them seem like they're gay or some shit, and they weren't. They were fucking the most like alpha kind of like
Bro,
fucking
their
bro-y
dad
type
would have
dudes.
is turning in his grave right now watching this. Huh?
That's the only.
He
good
probably
part.
laying down, laying down. And goes, you know,
This conveys a message that is not true about this subject.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me mad. I'm not mad that they're dude, make a fucking fictional movie where they're gay and they fuck each other after they get out of prison. They suck each other's donks all day long. I don't give a fuck. That's way cool. I'm down with that. Like fucking Eric becomes a cross-dresser. Fuck yeah, dude. Fucking fights for fucking his rights. Great. I don't give a fuck. But if you're gonna make a truthful movie, those dudes were fucking douchebag bros. Listen, and I'm down with the Menendez brothers, bro. I want them freed. I think that they were victims. But at the time, and this is what I was trying to explain.
look at this. That's the one, bro.
No, this is this is like two of David Bowie's kids getting ready to make a video, dude. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here.
What was that movie they came out with of the mountain?
Which one? Oh, Brokeback Mountain. This is more would be the better advertisement.
This will be
for that.
Richback Mountain.
Richback.
The
They don't
opinions,
go fishing this
the
time.
opinions of Butch Escobar, not the opinions of the History for Fools podcast of our listeners.
That's
Of
definitely
our
the
listeners,
opinions of-
maybe
of
like 5
History for Fools.
listeners. That guy from Sacramento with the bud.
Butch McLeod. Yeah.
Oh man, shout out to this comedian, bro. When you didn't show up to Canada,
You mean when they wouldn't let me in?
yeah, when they turn you away, bro. Me and Rodrigo did the solo show. He did 20, and I did an hour and 10. When we got to Calgary, oh, shout out to Calgary, by the way. Calgary, I didn't know you were Texas.
Yeah, very much.
I don't know about as far as guns goes, but as far as rodeo,
Yes, they
and
love
being a
beef
cowboy,
industry, yeah.
you can't deny that their history, the rich history of rodeo and the Wild West, hasn't been there forever too.
Stampedes.
Stampede. So we'll do a history about the history of the Wild West in Calgary.
Yes.
So do your homework, people.
Wild West in Canada. Woo.
That'll come next. So there's oil wells there.
Okay.
And there's a rodeo show. And when we got to the show, bro, when we got to the hotel, there was 1 billion kids because they were doing a motocross event down the street.
Oh, nice.
So I got to learn a lot about the history of motocross, which is it's going to lead into a history of the Outlaw Motorcycle Gang and the history of the actual building of a motorcycle. But besides that, there was a bunch of little kids, right? All BMX. And then I'm not wearing my glasses, and I was staring at two waifus, and I thought they had "Make America Great Again" hats, right? And I said, I was like, wow, that's stupid. They're in Canada,
Yeah.
right? I mean, okay, but then I said, oh no, they're just visiting here, so that's cool,
Right.
they're Americans visiting here, and that's their hats, which is all right.
Yeah.
But they had "Make BMX Great Again."
Fuck yeah, dude.
They're hardcore.
Hell yeah, bro.
So all these dads, bro, were motocross kids,
Right.
and now their kids are motocross kids.
Right.
So me and Rodrigo were talking, bro, and it was hot over there, dude.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
It was like 98, 100,
Yeah, I was looking at the weather.
and they were doing this event outside with
That's
all
crazy.
their padding. So you ever done that motocross
Yes.
race?
I've never raced, but
Okay.
I've ridden tons of motocross.
These dudes had the top of the line BMXs, bro, with gears, I get.
Uh-huh.
Gears. And I don't know if they had gear, but
Were they bicycle riding or was it motorcycles?
no, they were fucking bicycles.
Oh, dope. Okay.
Bicycles.
Yeah.
I think there was like the ages were like Pee-wee and junior.
Right.
Or midget. Midget is 15 and under, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Pee-wee and midget.
Right. Yeah, I think Pee-wee's smaller than midget goes next.
Yeah, Pee-wee is 8 to 10, and midget is 10 to 12.
Right.
Yeah, so that was the age.
Okay, so you were at a track then.
Yeah, and
Dope.
They had a sign, man, leave your bike outside. And so we were talking to this kid. He was with his father, and they asked him, how many people in your team? He goes, I was curious. Do you race solo on this race, or do you have a team that races with you, and they block other racers from getting in front of you to get to the point? He goes, yeah, in some races, if you have a big team, they race like that. But also there's other races where there's 3 from each team, and they're doing the same event.
Oh shit!
And they jump, bro, and
Yeah.
their tires were thin, man. Like I never seen racing tires,
Right.
but they were like
Were they bald or tready?
they were tready, but they were like thick,
Okay.
but they were not fat.
Right.
They were not the regular size that you normally see like on a mongoose.
Right.
Bro, I remember one time, bro, we were talking about bicycles. And name a bicycle growing up, bro. I'm gonna say mongoose.
Mongoose is a good one. For me,
Twin. Red line.
Twin, red line. What was the OG BMX bike? Was that the Mongoose? Maybe it was the
Red line,
Mongoose.
bro.
Red line.
Anyways, so we're talking one day,
Specialized.
and Martin Moreno throws in the cheapest bike ever, bro.
Huffy.
Fuck no. Just don't remember fucking PK Ripper.
Bro, that's
Bro, that fucking motorcycle, where's it? How they made that motorcycle look like a motor. Like they made that bike.
Look like a
They-
motor,
that,
yeah.
that bike used to had a thing on the front. Do not do stunts with this bike.
Yeah, because it was made out of fucking like aluminum foil.
So it said right there, do not do stunts.
Right.
Right on it, don't do
Yeah,
stunts.
yeah.
Right. But everybody that was fat did stunts and broke it.
and fucking ripped it in
Ripped it in half.
Yeah, bro.
PK Ripper. Look how much they are now, though.
No way.
Yeah, bro.
Why are they so
Because
expensive?
they're fucking up. Because Martin Moreno promoted them, bro. And Fluffy bought one. PK Ripper. Yeah, bro. PK Ripper.
No,
They're expensive.
way, bro.
But Mongoose and Red Line.
$1,200.
Mongoose and Red Line must be real. But these are the originals, bro. 84, 85.
Right.
But-
How much did they cost when we were kids? Because I remember the Huffy.
They didn't cost me
They were, like,
nothing,
cheaper than
homeboy.
Huffy. Yeah, dude.
Motherfucker bought a hamburger and didn't lock it up.
You fucking. They cost nothing when they're in front
Dog.
of someone's yard.
I don't care. If you're a white kid with a PK Ripper or Red Line,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure your skills were badass. But if you're in my neighborhood, if you had one of those bikes, you couldn't do no tricks.
None.
But the people who had a Schwinn
Yeah.
and fixed it up themselves,
Do shit with that
bro, you
shit,
ever fixed
yeah.
up your own bicycle?
My dad did.
Well, I had a bicycle, bro,
I
that
sucked at
had a
mountain bikes.
banana seat, bro.
Nice.
And I thought it was like kind of like weak, you know?
Right.
But everybody else had the one-seater.
Right.
That was still like
still had the-
ribbons.
You had the girl's bike.
Ribbons.
Yeah.
No, bro, didn't have the girls' bike didn't have the thing, remember?
Didn't have the long.
Well, mine did have it.
That's right.
Mine did have it, so.
Yeah.
So
But the
you let-
sparkly yellow.
See, because a girl,
God, dude,
for
I
it's
love
weird.
it.
Like a girl's bike didn't have the thing, but I always thought I have balls.
That's what I always wondered.
My
bro.
bike should have been like
Why
that.
isn't it not the opposite? Why
Flip-
does the girl's bike have the missing?
The missing crotch.
Yeah. When if I hit my and I've hit my balls on
Maybe
that bar.
maybe they did a research that when women have those bikes and they're going through puberty, they start rubbing it.
That is not at all what I thought.
Look at that lady with no skirt. See.
Like, look at her getting down on that bike, bro.
But you know how conservative men were back then, bro? But you know what it is, bro?
It was the dress, right?
No, it wasn't that.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't that. You just what it was. We can sell 2 bikes.
Yeah. If you market to women specifically, women will buy that specifically.
But let me tell you, man.
Right. Yeah,
No,
man.
nope. The woman beach cruiser designed for a woman was always the best beach cruiser, bro.
Right.
It was like everything matched, the color, the seat, everything. Not like the men beach cruiser, black seat.
Just that's it. That's all you get.
Here you go, some spokes. What color you want? What color you want, bro?
Red.
Sorry, we only have that ultimate blue and black.
Pretty much, dude. That's pretty much.
See the ladies' bike? Like the ladies' bike were pretty much girls' bikes were pretty much the official lowrider of classic bikes, man, because they were all colorful. They had baskets. They brought. I carry stuff. I wanted a basket.
They have like cup holders on them and shit.
Now, bro, they have everything, bro. I saw a beach cruiser, bro, with a sidecar, and their little dog was in there, bro.
That's pretty dope, though. I will say my favorite thing right now about living in this world with bikes is the electric bike. I want an electric bike so fucking bad. I went to Venice Beach.
You still have one?
And I have mine, but it's not as good as the new ones. Mine maybe gets me about 4 miles before it craps out. I went to Venice Beach this last weekend. Holy fuck, man.
You rented one?
I rented one, me and my girl, and it was the funnest thing that I've ever done here. And I sometimes think about just going on my own and renting an electric bike, just riding along.
You don't want to die, man.
They're fun. They're so fun, though.
Once you pick up speed, because you know that guy over there at with Steve and Alex, right there at Spring Street.
Yeah.
OG Louis, those guys. Remember? Have you seen those 2 bikes he has?
Yeah.
That one of them goes 35 miles an hour.
Those are dope e-bikes.
He wants I think he wants too much for them right now, though.
That's the thing is everybody
he wants
too much.
He wants 3,500.
That's crazy, bro. That's because they might be worth it. But this is the problem that I have is because I've been looking at e-bikes congratulations to me. I built my credit
3,500. How about just do a cool comedy show in here for a bunch of guys? I'll host. You invite your best friends.
I'll just come do a show for you, bro.
You charge them $25, bro. Make it all very like the dark comedy show, bro.
Yeah. That would be dope, actually. That'd be a dope place for a comedy.
That's something you could swing at if you want to do something like that, Louis.
Right.
Or do a 420 show. He's dying to promote his brand. Not Louis, not Steve so much, but the other guy.
The real Louis.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then he goes, hey, can you bring Felipe in? He goes, nah, bro, I'll bring it only to and then you look at pot smokers.
Right. I'm gonna do that.
Because that guy used to do promotion all the time, but you could set it up for April 20.
Yeah, this is a good idea, actually.
Bro, the best April 20 show I've ever been to.
Before we publish this idea.
We're going to hear this because Butch already did this today. I'm going to talk to Louis. I don't know if you guys heard me talk about this on the other podcast, but on this podcast, I'll let you know. April 20, when I did my show in Chicago 2 years ago, Bombay. Shout out to the homie. If you're listening right now, I'll see you in Chicago when I'm there, and you already know. We'll see you later. He invited me randomly to an April 420 show, man, and it was lit. By the time I got there, it was already like 9. And they had a barbecue pit. They had tacos. They had
You're talking about the Cannabis Renaissance?
No, it was a regular private thing they had in Chicago in the hood.
That's the guy though that we hook up with in
the dude
in Chicago.
Was his lady?
Yes.
Yes, he invited me.
Cannabis Renaissance.
Yeah, he invited me. Shout out. He's a good artist. He invited me, and I get there. I'm like, I don't know if he's there. Right, I'm looking for him.
Right.
So I said, man, I'm gonna be standing out here in his neighborhood. It goes like this when there's a party in there, and I'm waiting for him to show up.
So weed party at that.
So I went in there, and I went in there, and it was open to anybody who knew. So they just let me in, and
right.
I was set up immediately they had a regular bar, for like drinks and all that, and then they had a bunch of people with a bunch of different type of companies that bought a little tiny space, bro, just for their bud.
Right.
Like this right here was a space.
Yeah.
A little booth.
Dope.
Right there where Ray is was another booth.
Dope.
Thanks. And then, so altogether, like 5 booths. Everybody paid for a little booth. But they were all nice. They were all like bumps. And then one of the bartenders was there just to roll for people they didn't know how. That was the bud part. And then there was a person there in charge of dabs. And then there was like Bamba. The other one was just hash.
This was in Chicago.
Yeah, and then everywhere you went, there was people smoking and passing. But this is where it gets crazy, bro. one of the promoters. I forgot your name, but shout out to also the Godfather of Pilsen. Very cool motherfucker, bro. This motherfucker, bro. Oh my god, dude. He's like my age,
Okay.
but he looks older because he has bald head and he dresses very you wouldn't catch the Godfather of Pilsen wearing this, right?
Right.
He'll probably wear it in his house,
Yeah.
but he won't wear it in public.
He dresses up when he
Dresses
goes out.
up. He dresses up all the time. He shows up. He says he's a big fan, and he has like 15 people with him who barely probably turned 21 or 22 or
Wow,
24.
okay.
And I was like, wow, this fool has sicarios over here.
Right.
That's the first thing that came to my mind. And
Yeah.
they were all like peso pluma type looking fools.
Okay.
And
They're kind of gangsters.
yes,
Like modern
But they're-
gangster.
but he was telling them all of them who I was, and they goes follow him, and they all went like this to
At the
follow
same
him.
time.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
Do it now.
I don't know if he's the Godfather of Pilsen or the Godfather of another town that starts with a P.
Okay.
Whatever, dude. I don't know.
It was a while back though.
So him and another guy, this guy sponsored this side of the party. He was wearing those shoes from South Park, Towleys,
The Towleys.
when it first came out.
You have those.
Yeah, he was wearing those
are
with a
dope.
tracksuit, looking pimpy, and he had like, man, this guy was suave, bro. He was like, hey, he was like Michael Pena and Eastbound and Out when that guy said that racist joke. Racism! I love racism. Give me more racism. Like he didn't get he was laughing. He was that
Yeah.
type of guy. Fool. This fool had the whole section cornered he made it to a strip bar.
Oh, dope.
So you have these two ladies. They did a strip show where everybody was throwing money.
That's great.
And then they had like they made 4 booths for VIP dancing.
So was this like a undercover spot or was it a public spot?
Well, the bar is public,
Right.
but it was bought out by somebody.
Okay. And then they just turned it into something
Yeah,
else.
it was bought out.
Okay.
So you can't be like going in there, a cop, let me go in there.
Was this a special event?
Special
Or, like,
event
was it, like-
once a year.
Because we have these things in
Once a year.
in Oakland, and I only found one in LA. They call them sessions. Have you heard of these?
Oh yeah, those they used to have a bunch of them, man. Ray used to go to them over there in San Bernardino.
Oh, you guys have more than a lot of them here?
yeah,
or-
but you gotta know, bro.
you got to know. Yeah.
It started off with a guy that was selling tacos, bro.
Okay.
And then mom started bringing tacos like this.
Right.
And then it was a real car. Then I saw Baby Bags there. I saw him. I saw E-Zone. Then people started copying it.
Okay.
And then the more they started copying it, the more people that know. And then later on, motherfuckers started robbing them, bro.
Yes. Yeah.
that
to
was
me,
done.
I'm like, how are you
So it
not
was
getting
done now.
robbed? Yeah. So they call them sessions here too, or no? Okay. All right. Whoa.
Private stash or
Yeah,
whatever.
private sesh.
Yeah,
So this place that you were at in Chicago wasn't a sesh. It was just
No.
a regular party.
regular 420
That's
party.
fucking so rad, bro.
And they do it every year. And they
No
do it in
shit.
different places. The guy said, oh, you want me to do it in your city? Let me know.
That's fucking rad. Let's bring one to LA, dog.
Man, but I hung out with them that were tight, and then man, we just had cafe, bro.
Nice.
Just smoked all the way,
Yeah, that's nice.
and he drove me all the way around the area of by the Old Navy Pier,
Right.
where the carnival is, and I saw all the Trump Tower. I saw the Trump Tower at the end when they dropped me off, but I saw the he owns another property down the street by the place, and I remember that Al Capone mentioned it in Scarface. He goes, I don't know the name of the rich neighborhood in by the Old Navy and Old Navy Pier in Chicago. I don't know the name of it, but I'm gonna try to guess right now. It's something Lakes. Okay, it's Lake Shore. So he goes, so they say that you're bootlegging here, Mr. Capone. You know, people call it bootlegging, but when you serve it in a glass on Lake Shore Drive, they call it class.
Yeah.
So Lake Shore Drive, there's a bunch of bad buildings, and they're owned by President Trump, but they're majestic, bro. Anyways,
Really?
the whole area is majestic, that area. But then you go to further down, and that's where the people. Yeah, look at how it is. That was back in the day, bro. There it is, bro. That's Lake Shore.
Putting liquor into the car. That's fucking.
Yeah, so they took me cruising through all these areas, but
Right.
I knew about them. So yeah, man, cruising through Chicago at night in that area is bomb.
Did you go? You went through that area?
Yeah.
Man, that's pretty dope, dude.
So man, so getting back to, I don't know how we got to here, bro. We're talking about fixing bikes.
Right. Yeah. I don't, bro. I'm assuming you smoked weed before you got here, just like I did. So sometimes the conversation.
I think now it's age coming to help me.
Do you think it's age,
Nah, I'm just kidding.
or do you think it's the marijuana?
So man, in 1901, man, this is the history of the. Hopefully, this will be enough history of the motorcycles to Bush start getting to the nitty gritty.
Oh yeah.
So in 1901, man, 1901 or 1900s, there was a company that was making just motorcycles and making just bicycles, like we were just talking about, fixing motorcycles. And one of them put an engine inside a motorcycle, made a motorcycle. You know, the motorcycle probably was invented in Europe somewhere, but in America, it was like in 1901, 1902. This company was doing this with a bicycle. But in 1904, the company Indian made its first motorcycle that was released ever in America. And then in 1908, Arthur Harley and his brother, the other Harley, hooked up with the guy from Davidson, Mike Davidson, which I don't know his real name. And they started the Harley Davidson Motorcycle Company in Milwaukee and Wisconsin. And by the way, I did a show in Milwaukee, and right there exactly where the Harley Davidson Company was started, it is now called the Harley Davidson Motorcycle Museum. And you can see.
Have you gone there?
From outside, bro. I was stoned looking at it and I point at it. That's the museum. But yeah, so if you ever go down there, it's right there, right in front of the casino, bro. And that casino has good Chinese food. So Indian
I've been to Milwaukee before.
Indian and Harley Davidson, they were competing with each other to see who had the best motorcycle. So then they started having races against each other. Like they would have these big motocross racing, and there wasn't a thing like that before in America. There was only car racing. Car racing wasn't even around yet, or around this time, because car racing was started during Prohibition,
right?
When rednecks and hillbillies were bringing in moonshine from Canada, and they were going super fast, and they were modifying their cars to go really fast so they won't get caught by the police authority, by the sheriffs. So their cars were souped up because they were full of illegal liquor that were taken to, of course, Lake Shore Drive. But anyway, getting back to the 1908, Harley Davidson and Indian are doing motocross all over the country. If you can see, they're racing and having competition. So World War I starts, right? World War I starts, which I don't know what year because we didn't do the history of World War I. So Harley Davidson starts opening up. They made a deal with the Army, and they started opening up mechanic schools all over America to teach servicemen how to fix, ride, and put apart a Harley Davidson and together, right? So that these fools were in the Army now with motorcycles, because Indian and Harley Davidson, they stopped their little feud to help the war effort, and all these motorcycles were like all over Europe, man, all over Europe, and they were riding everywhere. So when these servicemen came out of World War One, they came out and they started hanging out back in regular America with their motorcycles. And the American Motorcycle Association was already started, and they were having events of motocross events all over the country, and they were very conservative, man, like very conservative. Like they had a way, you have to have a look, first of all, and I don't mean just a look. You have to be pretty much white and good and short hair, right. Christian, and no tattoos, no long hair. And your club couldn't have like a crazy name. So when these motorcycle guys came out of World War One, they were naming their clubs crazy names like the Shit Diggers,
the
Booze Fighters, you know, whatever crazy nickname they had in the war. That's the kind of crazy nickname they had, you know, like Hell's Angels, Outlaws, right. Whatever, you know. But these were the pre clubs. Once these motorcycle guys had long hair and they were drinking a lot of beer, man. They like to party, and they were doing like their own races, man, like uphill, man.
Right. Yeah, they were doing like hill climbing.
Hill climbing.
Yeah.
So they were not invited to the American Motorcycle Association events because of the way they looked.
Can you type in, look up Harley Davidson WLA? Go ahead.
And they were not invited, and they started like these guys. So these guys, man, in Hollister, California, yeah. There was a big motorcycle fight. Anyway, that motorcycle fight ended up being in a movie called The Wild Ones with Marlon Brando, Lee Van Cleef, and some other Marvin. Yes, so they started.
They were riding. That's why they were hill climbing.
Yeah,
because they were like competing with each other to see. You know, one they wanted to beat the fuck out of this thing, like they did in the war. And the competitions that they were doing were hill climbs, and then they wanted to like pull them apart, see how they could fix them and put them back together. Like the majority of men in public at the time, especially after World War One, knew how to work on one of these. Not
like the motorcycle bikers now who do meth and pull a bike apart and can't put it back together.
Right.
Yeah. Some of them, you know.
Or there's extra parts when they put it back together.
So getting back to that movie, there was a big old fight that happened in Hollister, right? Between the Booze Fighters and the what?
It was
the Booze Fighters and the Whiskey Shooters.
Right, yes.
Anyway, so that big fight led to the American Motorcycle Association to label them the 1%er because they said that, you know what, the problem with what you see with motorcycle gangs and all that is not what the American Motorcycle Association represents. That's just the 1%. So these fools took it upon themselves and said, screw you guys, we're the 1%. We're going to have our own motocross thing. So after that fight, that movie came out in 1940-something with Marlon Brando, and it was called The Wild One. And in that movie, if you look at the jacket that they're wearing, it has two pistons. And later on, you'll see that the Outlaws from Cook County, they took the pistons from that movie and they added Charlie on it.
Right. Yeah.
So tell us about the Outlaw Motorcycle Gang.
So you guys, this kind of got sparked. A lot of times we see movies and we're like, all right, let's talk about the
first of all, what's the name of the movie?
The movie is called The Bikeriders, and it's based off of a book by Danny Lyon, a photography book by Danny Lyon.
That's funny you say that because did Danny Lyon end up being an outlaw, right?
He's actually,
but not in the movie.
It's sort of in the movie.
Yeah.
Because they allude to the fact that the guy doing the interview is like he infiltrates the gang, and
they made him look pretty, huh?
They made him look pretty, and the real life Danny Lyon, even though he was a journalist who worked on like politics before and Vietnam and stuff like that, or whatever, the real life Danny Lyon actually says that he dove deep into the Outlaw Biker Club And
Danny Line is
really, and again, when he was doing this was when the club was still
in his infancy.
in infancy.
So like 7 guys from McCook County, right?
So you have a guy who,
and they're all vets. First of all, right?
They're all vets. And it was started in 1935 in McCook, Illinois. It's considered the oldest outlaw motorcycle club amongst the MCs. It was whites only at the time.
And in World War I, this started in 1941.
And so
World War II, my bad.
World War II. So
Yeah.
we were talking, what we're really talking about is after World War II, these guys get out, and they're part of and again, the club was started prior to World War I.
They were called the McCook County Outlaws.
Right.
From McCook County
And they had
in Illinois.
Their original design was a bike from the forefront with wings. And then the guy changed it. I'll tell you his name right now. Sorry. A guy named John Davis who worked on diesel trains for a living, and he saw this movie and he wanted to kind of emulate it, and he already had a group of guys that he was riding with, and so they used to hang out at this place called Matilda's on Route 66, and which is the very beginning of the Route 66 that used to come out here. So he decides, let's start this little club. It's just guys that want to drink and have fun. And what Felipe was saying is that the AMA was like, yo, we're not about this bearded tattoo fighting bullshit that you guys are into. And 99% of people are all good.
And they're all pretty much what you call back then greasers, huh? They were putting oil.
They were greasers, bro.
Yeah, their hair was like badass, huh?
So I had to do the research because
one thing I noticed about that movie that one guy likes Chinese women.
Yes.
She was Chinese, right?
And that's actually a real thing.
Well, how do you, that struck me because that lady was that lady was full blown Chinese, right?
I think she was, yeah, either Chinese or Japanese.
Yeah,
which I'm
but
not.
brought her back from the war.
Yeah, fetish. But So it was a group of guys that were like, we just want to have fun and drink beer and race our motorcycles.
And ride a weekend. All these guys worked, huh?
All of them worked. All of them had like regular
mechanics.
jobs. None of them were criminals. None of them competed really in crime. They got in fights.
But they were
Maybe
down to
there was
fight,
a stabbing, and they drank and rode motorcycles, which I don't think at the time was illegal. So
there was nothing like them stealing or
no meth dealing
or marijuana dealing.
Nah, bro.
Selling stolen parts.
In fact, marijuana was not looked, and we're gonna get to that in a minute.
They were not even stealing parts, huh?
No, fuck no, bro. These were decent guys that wanted to get together and ride motorcycles with each other. It's what the motorcycle clubs that are gangs now say that they are now. We're just a bunch of motorcycle
I really
enthusiasts.
think some of these clubs are really going back to that.
Some of them are.
And the media is really showing a lot of old footage, a lot of documentaries. They're bringing back stuff from 20 years ago.
Let me first say this.
And I know from what I've seen. I've seen Hell's Angels. When I was in, I told you that story when I was hanging out in Kelowna, right?
Maybe.
When I was hanging out, I'll make it brief. But I did a show in Kelowna. Colonia, BC, somewhere right in Washington, and I was with Russell Peters, and I was at the end of the table having dinner, and then I was talking to a bunch of old dudes, and then we were all telling each other like a bunch of crazy jokes, like they were all racist jokes about each other, right?
Right.
We're just telling each other jokes. I took a photo, and they were Hell's Angels.
No shit.
Yeah, and they were just there because they're big fans of Russell Peters, because Russell Peters represents at that town.
So, what was I saying?
But they were not like.
But
the image of most of the motorcycle gangs right now, it's like still like these guys, don't let them in your town. But there's nothing like that. Everything is all from the past.
Right. I feel like that.
It was like it was from now to the just say the pandemic 2019.
Sure.
I would say from 2019 to now, it's not like 1990.
No. Well, and that's the thing is, I think 90s was the end of the golden era for bikers.
Everybody has the golden era of pirates.
Well, I think the reason why we see golden era is because when it was mastered And then when it was defeated by law enforcement or like with pirates, piracy took a downturn because globally we started uniting.
Yeah.
With motorcycle gangs, same with mafia.
And the end of pirates was the beginning of America.
Pretty much. And that's the thing, is that once civilization or something takes place with motorcycle gangs and the mafia and certain like gangs, I think technology has a lot to do with it. You can't fucking just walk up to people and shoot them in the face because there's cameras everywhere, and they're good cameras. And you can't just steal shit because, again, there's cameras everywhere, and then everything's being tracked, everything's computerized.
But you can eat stuff inside the market.
You know what?
You can eat stuff in the market.
Sure, yeah. You can still get away with that. Maybe we should start a syndicate of that.
The Outlaws, right? What happened to them after World War II?
So after World War II, you know, they're hanging out. They're these guys that are just having a jolly good time. And, you know, in the movie, it kind of alludes to it. Remember when they go to the guy and there's going to be tons of spoiler alerts in here. Sorry.
Can I mention something?
Sure.
In that movie, right?
Yeah.
When that kid, whatever, you know, that scene, and that kid with that bandana.
Yeah.
Were the filmmakers trying to make us think that that's Taco?
I don't know. You're talking about the guy
Taco
from
Bowman, bro.
The guy from Walking Dead that comes in?
No. I'm talking about Taco Bowman.
Oh, yes. They are trying to allude to that.
Because that kid just
Taco
shot
Bowman.
that guy, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying what happened in that scene.
Right.
But when I see him at the end, that was a bad motherfucker.
Well, we were talking a little bit.
But I thought, because Taco Bowman is a very famous
Outlaw.
No. Taco is I don't know what his last name is, but he's a outlaw, a famous outlaw with a bandana. What's his last name? Yeah, Taco Bowman.
Taco Bowman, yeah.
And
that's what I thought. I was looking right now.
Yeah. So
I think you're right. Yeah.
So yeah, we're cool right there. I thought in a movie that they're trying to elude that kid. There it is, right there. They already made the description. Go up, right there. Outlaw, right there. No, the one right there with the bandana. I told you, bro. No, up the other one, up there, next to him. To
the left, below that one.
See, that's the act. No, that's the actor up there.
Oh yeah.
No, the other one. That one, yeah. You see that?
That's right.
I was just gonna mention that, but they're trying to elude that was Taco Bowman.
Yes.
But what are people saying?
Well, I think the thing is that, so like what the movie is, and we were talking about it a little bit before, is the movie is a conglomeration of things that had happened. It's not exactly like, I was watching a guy that does a podcast on biker culture, and he sometimes is a little too over the top. But
is that guy that's conservative too?
No, this guy's like he looks like that guy. Yes.
He did one on pagans, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was too...
He's a little too...
yappy.
Yeah, bro. And he says a lot of weird shit. But one of the things was, he was like...
But he was facts about the media portraying the guy.
He's definitely facts, but it's just his weirdness about it, and his misunderstanding of things. Like, he's like, look, there would never be a guy interviewing a woman and her telling all the biker secrets. That was a movie trick, my friend, to let you know what was happening, and they used the wife who was close to one of the main characters to convey the story.
Yes.
Obviously that would never happen. But there was a reporter embedded with the motorcycle.
The reason the people are saying that about that actress in the movie, her name is Jodie Comer.
Right.
She's British. And I came in with the same opinion, like her accent. Where's this accent from?
Right.
Like her accent sounds like somebody from, yo, you live in Brooklyn?
Right.
But I guess that's a Chicago accent from back then.
It's the Chicago accent.
But the people who came in to see this movie because of her,
right,
know her from that show Killing Eve.
Okay.
Which is an Emmy-winning show with Sandra Oh. And I started watching the show after I saw her in that movie.
Right.
And the show is badass. But now but still, the people who came to watch, she was the attraction. Her, Tom Hardy, right, and Elvis, because the guy played Elvis.
Yes.
Were the attraction.
Right.
They were the people that try to get you to watch this movie.
And I could get,
but I don't know how much is her factual is.
I think actually, if you look at it from a symbolic point, she was the quintessential biker woman. And that's what they were trying to show, was a girl who was on her way to doing something different in life and fell in love with some bad boy and then became an old lady of the club. Go ahead.
Do you think that that was a trend back then? Having a photographer follow you around?
No.
Because what's the name? Hunter S. Thompson. He followed the Hell's Angels around. And also there was a woman who's a famous photographer. She followed a bunch of New England gangs back in the 60s, 70s.
Right.
And she took a bunch of photos of them and got to know them. And she made a picture book. And that same woman later on moved to Los Angeles, California, and was living in East Los Angeles. And she saw a bunch of gangs hanging around. And she didn't know what that was. And she took a bunch of pictures of them too. And it was like, she took a bunch of pictures of the Maravilla gang in the 1970s.
That's fucking dope.
And if you look it up, photographer who took pictures of Maravilla gang in the 1970s. And I was thinking like this, bro. Hear me out.
Okay.
Why can't we do a movie about that lady hanging around in Boyle Heights in the 1970s and taking all these photos? Wouldn't you want to know their lives?
I would kill to see.
I have this book.
I don't understand though. I think this has a lot to do with, I don't want to pull the racism card, but I'm going to. I think this has a lot to do with that these are Mexican people and that Hollywood doesn't think.
Look at that fool, bro. Look at that. He's a Maravilla gangster with a fucking.
Greasers
with a fucking bike. He's like a bicycle culture. Now look up Janet Beckman's England gangs. So she did a thing. She did England gangs.
Right.
One book, and then she did this gang.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure if we could probably. I'm sure there's photographers all over who took pictures of gangs.
Yeah, I think there's
That's how the Warriors started.
Right. Yeah, there's probably quite a few that have done that, but I don't think it would be like, I wouldn't say like every gang.
But that was like, I wonder, like, that was like a way to let people know of the counterculture without, because nobody else was funding this.
No.
So go on, bro. What happened after World War II?
World War II. So when I first saw this movie, when you first suggested this movie to me, I kind of lived in biker culture for a while.
Don't be lying, dog.
I worked in a.
That's why you didn't get into Canada, bro.
I worked at it's not why I couldn't get into Canada, but I couldn't get into Canada because I had a DUI 20 years ago. But
you know what, bro? You can always try again, and it'll be a different guy looking at the thing.
That's right.
And then, go ahead. Look, there it is. That's Janet Beckman's New England gangs.
And she went to the punk scene.
Yeah, they were all actual gangs.
These are like hoodlum. What do they call them?
Hoodlums.
Hoodlums.
Yeah.
So anyway,
look at that one with the suit. Look at that shit right there. Rebel, anti-skinhead, bro.
Yeah. That was like
anti-style.
That's where like ska was like was birthed from.
So you go to the.
So I go watch this movie, and I worked in a biker bar. That's how I was in biker culture. I wasn't in a biker gang. I wasn't fucking any of that. I worked in a biker bar. It's probably where I look like this from. But
Butch worked at a biker bar with all bikers. And for fun, they'll beat up college kids.
Yes, and that is actually very accurate.
These guys, because it was a bar where it was known for. It's known for everybody,
right?
But also, it was also known to don't be loud.
If you don't belong here, don't fucking be loud.
Don't fucking play the same song over and over.
Right? Yeah, you'll get put out on your head.
See, every bar has a secret there, and if you play they're not allowed to play a certain song, and if you play it,
no, Don't Stop Believing, and Nothing by Nickelback. Those were the two rules in the
just like in that bar from American Werewolf for London, when you ask, what's that up there? And they kick you out and a werewolf ate you.
Yeah, if you did that, we'd kick you out and bikers would get you. So I worked with bikers. I worked with like Hells Angels, Vagos, and then like support clubs, and then just regular clubs would come in.
All these guys, bro, were not our drug dealers. They all had jobs.
Bro, most of these guys were not drug dealers. Most of these guys were not criminals. Most of these guys were fucking some of the most loving, caring human beings I've ever met in my entire life. And I think that's why we have an obsession with these people. Because
Lisa said too, bro. Lisa said she lives in a trailer park. And in Aurora, Colorado, and there were bikers there, but she said she's sure there were Hells Angels, and One of them was dating her neighbor, and he said that they'll show up. Now they'll be gone for a long time, but they'll come back and have big cookouts, bro, for everybody.
Yeah, they would have.
Like, and people were poor.
I live next to the Hells Angels Clubhouse.
Of course, their old lady was missing teeth, bro. But
I live next to the Hells Angels Clubhouse in Oakland on 44th Street.
lying.
And shout out to those guys, man. They would throw barbecues for the fucking neighborhood. And if you were walking by, they would and you were cool enough, they would ask you to come over and hang out and eat. So like, these guys are really good dudes. What we see is the amalgamation of these people that are not good in these elements.
You know what upsets me? When they say like because I know that in Montebello there's a lot of Mongos MC.
Right.
That's what I grew up seeing.
Sure.
And they would have not just them, bro. They would have toy drives, blood drives.
Yeah.
They'll escort a little girl for the funeral if she had no friends.
Right.
You know, sometimes this guy, oh, my daughter likes motorcycles. Is there any way can you guys escort her on her death? Bro, they all showed up.
Yeah. These guys are good.
They're good.
They're good dudes. They just like every human being, they find a rivalry somehow and they beef with each other. You know, when I first saw this movie, I was like, come on, get the fuck out of here. But when you look at old pictures in like Sonny Barger's book, and you see Sonny Barger, you see his hair slicked back with Crisco. You see him he kind of looks like Andrew Dice Clay. And that's how they all looked back then.
I hate when they say that they do a lot of charities to hide the real thing they're doing in the back. You know what, man? There's a lot of people doing shady shit out there. Right. I don't see having cookouts or having toy drives.
Right, yeah. Harvey Weinstein didn't donate anything to anybody. You know, like there's a lot of bad people out there who
doing bad stuff, never donate a dime. Or never donate a time, bro.
Right.
These guys will give you advice. Hey, bro, take off that jacket.
They will do that. Before they beat you up.
There's a video of a Mongo in a motorcycle, and he sees a guy wearing a rival jacket, and he bought it off eBay, bro.
Yeah,
because they sell them,
bro.
Amazon will sell. I could buy that. I could buy that anywhere. Doesn't mean you can wear it.
You could buy the Hells Angels death head on Temu. You could buy the Charlie symbol for the Outlaws on the Outlaw website. Like they have it for you to buy. But if you go ahead, give them their fucking money. You know, but if you put that patch on your back, someone's going to roll up on you.
No, but these people are buying it not from the club. They're buying it outside.
They're buying it outside.
No way that guy bought a jacket from an actual club.
No.
This guy bought a jacket already made, and it had everything on it like a movie.
Yeah. And they do that, dude. It's crazy to me that you would do that because we all know, like, these guys don't fuck around with that patch bullshit, bro. Like, there's certain clubs, if you touch the patch, they'll fucking either get on your case or fight you.
Are you talking about that guy, that guy's podcast, the one that's talking about how that officer was holding a fake pagan vest?
Yes. Yeah.
And it was a fake pagan vest.
It was a fake pagan
because it had a bottom rocker. They don't carry bottom rockers.
No shit. Yeah, see, that's the thing.
Because pagans don't want you to know what city they're from. And then the officer was holding like a thing, and it had a rocker from the city.
Interesting. Liars.
I saw a raid one time when they raided a guy's house, and they said that the whole house was in disarray, bro.
Right.
Like it was like the house everybody sleeps on, but it's not the clubhouse.
Yeah.
That's the place where they go party or take a lady with a red dress there. And so
that's right, in the movie.
So
it just hit me.
So when they raided the place, they didn't find shit, bro.
Right.
And they opened the fucking safe, and you know what was in there?
What?
His vest, nice and taken care of.
Crisp.
The whole house was disarray.
Right.
The vest
was
ready to put on, and it's gonna go crisp.
I've heard this story, and I believe it. If you know bikers,
you look, because
bro,
that's your mantle, bro.
This is why I could not be a biker, bro, because
dirty motherfucker, bro.
I'm a dirty motherfucker, but I've lost 2 What's Up full sweatshirts since I've been.
I don't think you'll lose that the vest, bro. After 10 guys peed on you.
Totally. After you've worked that hard to get it.
I read somewhere that when I was in El Paso, I was hanging out with a guy, and his brother, he was a bandito.
Okay.
And he was a prospect, and he was telling us his brother's rise to a bandito, and he said they went to go somewhere to be. They were both those people that hang around, but they were like, it was his brother, two other dudes, and a white dude, and a real old man.
Okay.
Old man to them probably was 50 years old, probably, right?
Yeah.
And the guy was showing them. They were doing stuff like they were doing missions like a prospect does, right? And he goes, man, I feel like having me an ice cream, an ice cone right now. And they were like by where there's a lot of ice in the mountain.
Right.
So those fools take out their motorcycle, go to that mountain.
No way.
And the old man goes into a liquor store and gives them some ice.
Those fools were about to drive up and collect snow. That's fucking hilarious, bro. I mean, that's how much of a bitch you are to these people, though.
But that's initiation, bro. And if you ever been in a college fraternity,
Right.
that right there is mild, mild. And also,
Mild.
if you're a Navy person here, and if you're listening to me, and if you ever crossed the equator in the 90s, you know what kind of hazing we're talking about, but
Right.
now it's more lenient. There's hazing everywhere, bro. There's hazing
So if you're
to be like the
Right.
first guy to
But
hang around with Latino
I
comedians.
think prospecting though is because it's far more heinous because you're doing it for months at a time, like 6 months to a year.
How about you doing it for 4 years and never make you?
Get the fuck out of here. This is why I could never be again, because I hung out with motorcycle clubs and gangs, and definitely was recruited or attempted.
The gang
to
to jump you in and shit.
But it's not fuck, bro. I'd rather get jumped in because it's like this. You hang out with me every day, go get me a fucking beer. You bring me back a beer, go get my fucking friend who you don't even like a beer. Go back and get 2 more beers for us just in case we don't like these beers. Guess what? When you come back, you're going to do push-ups for me until I ask you to get me another beer. And then once you're done getting me that beer, I'm going to go make you watch my bike after you wash it twice. And that's just in one day. And that's prospecting for a motorcycle club. And that's every day for fucking months. I call you at fucking 6 a.m. I need fucking you to bring me some gabagool. And then you bring it to me and I eat it and I swish you away and tell you to go away now.
That's just a test to see how badly you want this.
Right.
And if you're going to pull up with all that, it's because you want it. You don't want it, so you're not going to go through
No,
this.
I don't want it, but I don't want to be.
You don't want to go through all this.
Well,
You want to join a bicycle club that they give you a hug in the forehead and let you join.
like a little peck on the
Yeah,
cheek.
and then you right behind chicks. Say,
Welcome. You're
and your lady's driving.
You're in
eh?
the club. I just don't understand how you could be so subservient to another human being and then go and be alpha afterwards. Like I feel like that would break me down as a human being.
Bro,
and I guess that's the idea.
That's the idea. That's like the Marines, bro. They the same thing, bro. If you want to, only the tough could make it, bro.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But I heard that like they would get cans with oil in them and pee and throw up and just pour it on you. And I saw that they once they got the vest, they're gonna they start throwing it around,
Right.
and you gotta fight for it, bro. And then you gotta soy yourself.
Yes. With the Vagos, you have 15 minutes to sew. I think it's 15 minutes or a half hour. I'm not sure to sew it on. And I don't know what happens after that. The part of the problem with this research, bro, was that there's not a lot of stuff on the Outlaws. And I don't know if it's because they don't let it go out or what, but finding out just them specifically was hard because the reason why I know the Vagos thing right now is because I read a book. First of all, when you look up Outlaw Motorcycle Club, it just thinks that everybody. And I got a book on accident about a guy who was working undercover for the Vagos, and he vaguely speaks about the fucking Outlaws. But that was the thing, man. Outlaws do a really good job of hiding what they've done.
You know, in Germany, so in Europe, there's a I don't know if what you call when you have another motorcycle gang that's part of your motorcycle gang, but they have a different name.
Yeah, it's a sister chapter.
and they have the same color.
Okay, that's a supporting chapter then probably.
Because there's a look up this biker gang. It's called Los Chicanos MC, and they're in Europe.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, bro.
We have them in San Jose too. But
Los Chicanos MC, but these are all like
are they white dudes?
they're all white, white, and they have the same colors as the Bandidos.
The Chicanos. Do they even know what that means?
Look, see it?
That's crazy to me, bro. They do have the same colors as the Bandidos.
And it's called Los Mexicanos downtown, but this is not the
Los
one.
Mexicanos Switzerland. What the fuck?
Yeah, Los Mexicanos Switzerland. But Los Chicanos MC Germany, is there one?
Los Hermanos Chicanos, Los Chicanos. What is Belgique?
Belgium. There it is. There's like the band. Look at the Bandidos. They have their own. They were started in
That
Texas.
fucking guy, dude. That's so like. Look at how stereotypical fucking that guy is, bro.
That's a new patch, huh? So what happened to the Outlaws, bro?
The Bandidos character.
What happened to the Outlaws, bro? After Vietnam?
Okay, so what you see in the movie, and what actually happens
Some
is
rowdy bunch, huh?
so it's a versus thing. You know, after Vietnam, you have guys that want to do drugs, that want to smoke weed, and
Heroin too, bro.
heroin, and you're dealing with, you know, the guy who started and the guys who started the Outlaws Motorcycle Club are World War II soldiers who, at the extent, drank a lot of beer and partied, but didn't do coke, didn't sell drugs, didn't murder, didn't fucking steal shit. But you have Vietnam coming in, and we talked a little bit about the effect of Vietnam and all the things that affected men during that era, during the history of serial murders, because there was a large impact on how we behaved. And that was starting to reflect in these motorcycle clubs, because these guys wanted to smoke pot and party, and then the leader.
Also, the soldiers that came out of Vietnam were not as celebrated as the ones that came from World War I and World II. There was no parades for them. They were actually being spit on when they came out of the airport.
There was no heroes welcome for these guys.
It was hard for them to get jobs just based on the fact that they were from Vietnam. And a lot of them had for the first time in American history, America was acknowledging that people had PTSD from the war, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. Back in the day, before it was PTSD, it was just called shock, right?
Right. It's called shell shock.
It was called shell shock.
Yeah.
From hearing all those shells.
Right. Yeah.
But then they made it now it's called PTSD.
It went from shell shock, and then Vietnam.
George Carlin had a great joke about it.
Ah, that's right. I remember. That's where.
And nowadays, shit, you could get a fucking handicap sticker if you have PTSD from growing up in a bad home.
So, you know, in the movie they have Norman Reedus from Walking Dead playing a biker. Surprise!
They were trying to say that Sonny Barger, but really, those teeth.
It's not Sonny Barger. What I think it was a symbolism of the exchange. I think that he was
dirty, huh?
He was showing what the bikers were going to become.
Cause see, there's a part in that movie, bro, that struck me that will never happen in real life.
Yeah.
When he showed up to the McCook Outlaws, he said, "You haven't told us what you're here for." Cause he showed up and said, "Here's hey man, I just want to party with you guys, man. Here's some $100, $60. I want to drink with you guys."
Right.
Then they asked him, what are you really doing here? Me?
Here to beat him up.
I just came for him.
Right.
Oh, why? Because he just left our club.
Right.
And he joined this club.
Right.
And then they were all like, so what are you going to do now?
They were afraid of him.
What are you going to do now?
Right.
And he goes, nah, he's cool. You guys are cool. Wait.
Right.
In real life, he would have got beat the fuck up.
Maybe though.
No, but that guy they would have just bumped the other guy, bro.
You mean
for being a fucking fifth flip-flop.
Oh, they would have bumped that guy for sure. But
he could have said,
but I think
before joining the Outlaw, the McCook gang, and
right.
in that we're talking the movie here.
Right.
He could have said, hey, man, I already left another gang.
I think what the movie, though, was trying to say was it was
okay to do that.
Well, no. One, it was showing the summit where they decided to be where they decided to be a real motorcycle club. But because that's what that was. That in history, there's a summit at Soldier Field in Chicago where they all decide this is what we're gonna do, and this is how we're gonna do it. And I think that party was to symbolize that because it was different motorcycle clubs coming in. I think him being scary to them was symbolic of how much tougher they were gonna get.
Yeah.
Like that at that time, those guys were afraid of this West Coast. And that's honestly how it started. The West Coast bikers started having long hair. They looked like dirty hippies with fucking knives and guns. And at the time, the bikers in the East Coast were still looking like the greasers from the old days. And I think that was a symbolic change of like, this is no longer to be a fun hang around gang. This is going to be a fucking gang of outlaws that fuck people up and kill people. And that's kind of what happened. And then if you watch the end of the movie, you'll find out. But in real life, what really happens is that the weed smokers, aka the drug addicts and the guys who steal and the guys who do bad shit, wanted it more. Grapist, my friend, is what we say here on the show. Wanted to
home decorators.
What's that?
That's what they're called.
The home decorators, yes. They wanted a club that was all about that, and then the guys that wanted to drink beer just wanted to hang around, and it switched. And now you have the Outlaws, which I'm going to just rattle off because we're limited on time here. It's a whites-only gang with 441 chapters, 43 countries. It's decentralized. So unlike the Hells Angel, where there's one major group that controls all, the Outlaws have more of a states' rights kind of thing going. It's the third largest next to the Banditos and the Hells Angels. 43 countries.
Do they have Outlaws in Florida?
Yes, big time, and that's where like there's a couple things.
They're like their own world there, but they're crazy.
Bro,
too,
Florida is kind of where they grew big. Dude, they nailed.
They own Florida, right?
They nailed it. They own Florida. They nailed a chick to a tree because she wouldn't turn a trick for them, and then she wouldn't
That's some
testify
Vietnam
against
shit
them.
right there, bro.
And she went back to hang out with
That's
them.
some Vietnam thinking shit right there. That's what, when we talked about Richard Ramirez, that was his uncle did.
Right? Yes.
History for fools, fool.
I'll see you guys on the next one.
The next one, don't forget to watch. When you watch this, the debate will be over.
Let us
So
know what you guys think.
what should we do next week so everybody can get prepared?
For next week, what did we talk about doing? We said we were going to research something else. Right now. What did we say? Do you remember what we said at the beginning of the? We had it too. We were like, let's do that one next.
Oh well, history for fools.
That one is what we're gonna do next.
Yeah, that one.
And then we'll come back. So study that one. Sorry, guys.